From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Monday, March 23rd. It feels totally different this morning. Much cooler out there than yesterday, where we hit the 80s in Indianapolis. Today, you're going to need that jacket again. Starting out cool, going to be up to the mid-40s this afternoon.
Central Indiana. Wish TV is now live on YouTube TV and Hulu Live, offering more hours of local programming than any other station. Search for Wish TV or look for CW8 on both YouTube TV and Hulu Live to find us. Watch local news, sports, and lifestyle shows live from Wish TV. You can still catch Wish TV free over the air or stream it live on wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile apps. Wish TV, available in more places for the latest news, weather, and sports.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Breaking news, an airport source tells CNN that 2 people are dead after a plane crashed into a fire truck on the runway at LaGuardia Airport in New York. The airport is closed right now. We have pictures on wishtv.com of the plane after the crash. You can see the front of the plane is crushed, pointing upwards, with the rear section dropped down to the runway. The New York City Fire Department says it happened after 11:30 last night when an Air Canada flight landed and hit the vehicle that was responding to another incident on the airport's runway. The airline says a preliminary report shows that there were at least 72 passengers and 4 crew members on the plane. According to CNN, the pilot and the co-pilot were killed and 2 others were hurt. This issue is affecting flights here in Indianapolis. According to FlightAware, 10 flights are canceled so far today, and 5 of them were supposed to go to LaGuardia, and then the other 5 were coming from LaGuardia. We will have more on this story as it develops through the morning here on Wish TV and wishtv.com. Happening today, federal authorities say ICE agents will join TSA workers to help with airport security. The move comes as more than a month has passed since the partial government shutdown. TSA employees are working without pay, leaving many to walk off the job. That's led to long lines across the country. Some lawmakers are worried about having ICE agents at airports, but federal officials say they are only there to cut down wait times.
We're simply there to help TSA do their job in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, such as, screening through the X-ray machine.
I have an idea for Donald Trump. Instead of sending ICE agents to harass travelers at airports, why doesn't Trump get his act together and agree to pay the TSA workers and get the Senate Republicans to do so?
Democrats are asking for more oversight to federal immigration operations in order to end the partial government shutdown and fund the Department of Homeland Security. President Trump says starting today, ICE agents will guard exit lanes and check passenger IDs unless Democrats agree to tighten federal voting requirements. Here in Indianapolis, some people traveling tell us they are also worried about ICE agents coming to the airport. News 8's Jane Reeves brings us their reaction.
TSA definitely needs some help, but what kind of security are they going to provide? Is it the same type of security they're doing in Minneapolis, where even U.S. citizens are going to be concerned about, not having the right paperwork?
ICE is expected to support TSA teams at select airports, but they have not yet said which airports ICE officers will be assigned to, except the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport.
Because, they might be sent here to do something positive, and then they end up doing things negative to a lot of people. I'm not one for it.
Despite potential for shorter wait times, many travelers told me it's not worth it.
Regardless of the line, people have been able to navigate and get to their destination. So, I would still like to keep it business as usual.
Personally, I would wait on the line. Right now, the problem is more economical than political per se. When I came out of El Paso, I thanked the TSA, personnel saying, I appreciate what you guys are doing, but you're not getting paid, but you're still here, on the front lines.
Lopez says he would feel more comfortable with ICE around under one circumstance.
If ICE personnel will come on, here, probably without guns, so people will feel safer, around them. Right. There's no need for it, as there's already police in here. There's airport police. We don't need, another federal entity with guns blazing.
Federal officials have indicated that this job for ICE is not intended to conduct immigration enforcement activities, only helping with crowd control. I'm Jaden Reeves for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The Purdue Boilermakers are heading to the Sweet 16. The Boilermakers beat Miami 79-69 in the round of 42. Our Sports 8's Angela Morian has been with the team all season. She has more from St. Louis as Purdue prepares to take on Texas.
Once again, it was a matter of tough defense and just pure resiliency that got Purdue the 10-point win over Miami in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The Boilers were down by 2 at half, plus had to battle through guard CJ Cox's injury, but they played more physical and more determined than ever to make their third straight Sweet 16. That's exactly what they did.
We're excited. I mean, obviously going to enjoy this win. Obviously, it wasn't a perfect win for us. We would like to clean up some things. I'd like to clean up some things personally, and obviously, but we're happy. We're happy. You got to win, and you got to find ways to win, especially during this time, because if we don't find ways to win like we did, then this is a whole different story, and this locker room has a whole different vibe. So for us, I thought we did an unbelievable job just handling that, and obviously enjoying it now and then focusing tomorrow.
We knew at the beginning of the year that was how our team was built. When one or two guys aren't playing well to begin with, to have other people that can come in and pick them up is just really important.
It's hard to get here. It's hard to get in the tournament. It's hard to win a game in the tournament. To be able to win a couple games here is an accomplishment, but it's also hopefully just a start for us.
The win over the Canes marks head coach Matt Painter's 500th at Purdue. He says all that means is that he's had some pretty great players over the years. Hear more from Painter and those great players coming up in sports as they get a big win over Miami here in St. Louis. For now, I'm Angela Morian for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Also in March Madness, the Hawkeyes beat the defending national champion and number 1 seed Florida, sending Iowa in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. Kentucky lost to Iowa State by 19 points, making their worst loss in the tournament since 1972. St. John's nearly blew a 14-point lead, but still managed to beat Kansas 67-65, while Purdue's upcoming opponents, Texas, brushed aside 8-seed Oregon, hitting triple figures in the process. Investigators in Shelbyville say they have found a body in a river, but they're asking people not to speculate about the case. Shelby County Sheriff's Department says they were called to a report of a person in the water in the Big Blue River near West Washington Avenue. That's when they found the body on a log. Investigators have not identified the person or cause of death, but they say they were male. Deputies say that posts circulating on social media claim to know the man's identity and are not true. They are asking the public not to share these posts. An economics professor from Ball State is warning that the war in Iran could drive up costs on goods here at home. Professor Michael Hicks says fuel prices drive shipping costs for everything. He talked to News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist for this week's episode of All Indiana Politics.
Hicks tells me even though the United States produces more than 1/5 of the world's oil, Iran's efforts to block the Strait of Hormuz means the overall global oil supply is still down. That drives prices up.
It just makes everything more expensive to produce, and to move and to deliver. So it's more expensive for food to get to the grocery store. It's more expensive to plant the food. It's more expensive to process the food. It's more expensive to heat and cool the facility that you have, because all these prices tend to move together. So it's not just oil that's being affected, because oil is a substitute for something else, electricity, other energy sources. They all eventually move together. So when you see an oil price shock like we're seeing now, which could get much worse, you're seeing that also going to affect all other types of energy prices that then bleed over into everything, a trip to Disney, the cost of tickets at Holiday World, the price of a meal at a restaurant in downtown Indy. So it's a broad economic shock we're experiencing right now.
If the war were to end quickly, how long would it take for those oil prices to return to pre-war levels?
So if the war, let's take the best case scenario, the war ended, there was regime change tomorrow, It's going to take a couple of years to fix all the infrastructure that's been damaged. It's going to take several weeks for oil prices to get back down in the $60, $70 range. So we could be in the gas prices in the low $3 in a couple of 3 weeks. The problem is that the war doesn't seem likely to end immediately. And so on the flip side is that we would see, if the war is extended for 6, 8, 12 months, with the Iranians trying to impose a cost on the globe for this war, then we could see that extend out for years, particularly if there's further damage to the oil infrastructure in the Persian Gulf, Karg Island, and all the other suppliers in the region.
You can see in-depth analysis of the issues that affect you every Sunday on All Indiana Politics. It airs at 9:30 in the morning, only here on Wish TV. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Gas prices are up slightly this morning, according to AAA. The national average for a gallon of gas is $3.95. The average in Indiana is $3.80. Here in Indianapolis, it's $3.72, and diesel now sits at $5 per gallon. As President Trump threatens to order strikes on Iran's power plants if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened in 48 hours, one expert warns that the shutdown is causing disruption of unprecedented magnitude.
This is the worst energy crisis in history. Hormuz remains shut in. You have production from all the Middle East states being curtailed. Attacks continue on the Gulf region. So I don't think that, the longer this conflict drags on and the longer we have the strait closed, the higher probability we're going to see prices way higher than they are today. The price of gasoline is almost $4 a gallon now. So consumers should expect to pay more for their food, more for their transportation, airfare, you name it. This impacts all supply chains, and it's not just related directly to energy. Energy feeds into everything.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.